And we continue here. Some more on the wide receiver cornerback matchups, which we always love. Let's talk about the Packers. Devontae Parker seems to be the only healthy guy there. You like that matchup today?
I do like Devontae Adams in this matchup.
Yes. Hashtag good at football.
Mike, we got to give you credit because you were very optimistic about Kelvin Benjamin, and I understand you're optimistic today about Amari Cooper, who's been a feast or famine.
Yeah, Benjamin did not do so.
That Deshaun Watson, he's not going to avoid DeAndre Hopkins.
True.
But yeah, maybe he'll see a little bit better matchups there, and so Fuller and Cutie get a little bit more love. Should be a fun one to watch.
No Can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
Mike Clay, always dropping knowledge. Check out all his work on ESPN.com. Appreciate you. Question marks looking at you. Kenyan Drake. A lot of people missed your whole rant on him.
Yeah.
We know how you feel.
Right.
What is the deal? Who is he? What should people do?
Well, he's a running back for the Miami Dolphins.
Thanks,
a touchdown pass last
He did catch a touchdown pass after my rant, and yet still, in his big breakout game, he had 6 carries. I mean, anyway, whatever. I mean, so I'm not a Kenyan Drake fan in terms of how he's being used in this offense.
You're just a Drake fan, like as in the artist.
Sure, well, of course, who isn't there?
All right, you mentioned Jeff Darlington. We actually have him right now. Jeff, a live report. It's a home
Targets in 3 straight games. So it wasn't just the game last week. Now, the interesting piece is that Anthony Miller, the talented, you don't expect a tremendous amount of volume. There's a little bit of Tariq Cohen to him in the sense in terms of they both play.
Well, and that's why we're seeing Tariq Cohen kind of out touch the football over Jordan Howard. You know what I mean? That's just
earlier on the injuries. How do you feel about the Ryan Tannehill situation?
Well, I think, anytime a guy shows up on the injury report on Friday.
And you're all fired up about that.
It is officially Brocktober. It is officially
Talk about
Brocktober.
Halloween scary.
It's
Brock.
Halloween scary.
Oh, boy. But it's interesting that Darlington mentioned the fact that he thinks they're going to try to get.
Go.
I can't.
You can't. Just let it go.
There's so many, out on the social media, there's so many people with pitchforks trying to defend Kenyan Drake. And it's not Kenyan Drake's fault. It's this offense that he's on in this coaching system. But
you need to stop reading that stuff.
Know.
It's not
oh,
good
my
for your
goodness,
psyche.
man.
Phil, what you got for us coming up?
Craziness.
A lot of fun.
Interpretive right there, Molly. Yeah.
Always fun. Speaking of befuddled, the guys you drafted high, haven't really been performing. Let's be honest. You're just freaking out. You don't know what to do. Kind of can't get rid of them. We call it panic or patience, and we got you covered. I am freaking out with my Giants.
Okay,
it's a sad state of affairs.
Yes,
but
it is.
Odell Beckham Jr. is really, really good.
Yes, he is.
But is he even a top 10 wide receiver at this point?
I understand why
You're rubbing off on
I'm
it.
always emotional. I'm just not thoroughly fired up.
Mark Ingram's back.
Half the podcast is me just trying to get Field, just pushing his buttons. That's pretty
Get him
much
going. Ingram's back. Alvin Kamara
The
still
other
top
half
5.
is me to get Matthew talking about fantasy football. And
Pretty
keep
much.
going.
That's also true. Factually correct right there.
Way to compliment each other, guys.
I'm patient here on Alvin Kamara, and I get it. I understand why after Monday night's game, you're like, whoa, what happened? All of a sudden, he gets no touches in a game in which Drew.
If this helps anyone, though, Adam Schefter did report this morning it's unlikely he will be traded to the Eagles. We know we were hearing those rumblings. Obviously, their backfield banged up, looking for some help there. So that won't happen, at least. If that helps anyone.
And by the way, that helps sell what Field's talking about in terms of panic, because that's the biggest light at the end of the tunnel was if he could get out of Buffalo and go to a more effective offense.
Maybe he can go to New Orleans. They don't have enough running backs down there, do they?
Right? Oh, my goodness.
LaShawn McCoy to the Saints.
Well, the way running backs are Redskins are dropping, actually.
All right. Thank you, guys. Patience is a virtue. We are all practicing. When we
play?
David, listen, I have waited 7 weeks to talk to you about our dog, so I'm going to get to the game where you're at in just a minute, but I want to start there. Georgia in Death Valley taking on LSU. Who needs to get going right away for Georgia to take control early? 45 rushing yards in that running back committee for Georgia, best in the SEC. We've got actually more on Elijah Holyfield a little bit later on in the show. But alas, although I could talk Georgia all day with you, let's get to the game of the week. That being, of course, Michigan playing host to Wisconsin. You've got Wisconsin's running game as the crowd goes wild versus that Michigan defense. What makes Michigan's defense so hard to attack? To one of the anchors of that defensive line coming up in a little bit with one of your colleagues, Maria Taylor. But huge implications on the line in the big house. David Pollack, we'll see you on College Game Day at 9 Eastern. Matt, show us how big those implications are.
NFL here to break down the 3 biggest storylines that he's looking forward to. Our NFL front office insider, Lou Riddick. What you got, Lou?
Well, let's just start with that Chiefs-Patriots game. Let's talk about the Chiefs' defense. Let's talk about their secondary.
Eddie, it's been fun to pile on Mitch Trubisky, but at least the last couple of weeks, he's looked like the guy they thought that he was.
You can call him Maserati.
But I think that's a little too far. I'm not going to call him Maserati.
Get out ahead of it, El.
No.